Hi, my name is Leah Sugarman. Welcome to your full body yoga flow. Begin this practice in any comfortable seated position. So as always, you're welcome to elevate your hips by sitting onto props of any kind. You can sit on a block, a blanket, a towel, or a pillow. You're welcome to sit flat on the floor if that feels comfortable to you. But just work on grounding your sitting bones into the floor and lift and lengthen your spine up toward the sky. Soften your shoulders away from your ears. Take a moment to either just soften your gaze or close your eyes completely. And bring your awareness inside. Pay attention to the natural rhythm of your breath. And just decide if you'd like to keep this rhythm or set another pace. But whatever you decide, just find a slow, natural breath. Something that can remain consistent as you begin to move. And when you feel really connected to that, slowly open your eyes if you've closed them or refocus your gaze. And then turn to look over your right shoulder. Relax your chin toward your right shoulder and then take a half circle as you roll it all the way down to your chest and back around all the way to your left shoulder until you're gazing over your left shoulder. And then reverse that. Release your chin back down to your chest. Take a half circle all the way over until you look over your right shoulder. And just continue to move like this. Take half circles of your neck, rolling from side to side. Soften the muscles of your jaw and your face. And just let your breath guide this movement. And take one more breath in each direction. And then slowly draw your head back to neutral. Relax your fingertips onto your shoulders. Again, elongate your spine, relax your shoulders away from your ears, and slowly begin to make circles with your elbows rolling back behind you. On your next breath, reverse directions with your circles. Roll your elbows forward. Take another breath. And then relax your arms down. Remove any props that you may be sitting on. Cross your ankles and roll forward onto all fours. Stack your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees, and spread your fingers wide. On an inhale, tip the rim of your pelvis forward. Relax the weight of your belly toward the floor. Draw your shoulder blades together and peel open your chest. Option to lift your gaze. Exhale, ground firmly into your palms. Round through your whole back body. Tuck your tailbone under. Draw your navel in and gaze toward it. Inhale, relax your belly forward and down. Draw your shoulder blades together. Open your chest. Exhale, round your back body. Draw your shoulder blades apart. Continue to flow forward and back between cat and cow. Follow your own rhythm of breath. And take one more breath in each direction. And then slowly find your way back to a neutral position. Widen the stance between your hands and your knees. Tuck your toes underneath and lift your knees off the floor. Send your sit bones high into downward facing dog. Option to bend your knees here as you lengthen your whole spine. On an inhale, roll your weight forward into plank pose. Stack your shoulders over your wrists. Exhale, send your sit bones high into downward facing dog. Inhale, roll your weight forward into plank. Exhale, send your sit bones high back to down dog. One more time. Inhale, roll your weight forward into plank. Align your shoulders over your wrists. Exhale, lift your sit bones high back to downward facing dog. On an inhale, shift your weight into your left leg and sweep your right leg up toward the sky. Exhale, step your foot forward and through. Place it next to your right thumb. And soften your back knee to the floor. Elongate your whole back body. Stretch your spine up away from your pelvis. Option to rise up to props or fingertips. Elongate your spine and stretch your heart forward. Sink the weight of your hips low. As you exhale, lean the weight of your hips back until they stack over your left knee. Walk your hands or your props closer in toward your body and flex your right ankle. Option to keep your right knee bent or stretch and straighten your leg as much as you comfortably can. Lengthen your spine, an option to stay tall or lead with your chest and hinge forward over your front leg. Energetically draw your back knee and your front heel toward each other. If you folded, inhale slowly, rise back up. Exhale, bend deeply into your right knee, plant your foot back down to the floor, and ground your left hand to a prop or the mat, and spiral and twist your chest and your right arm up toward the sky. Elongate your spine, stretch the crown of your head forward, and then from that length, spin and rotate your whole heart open toward the right. Tuck your left toes underneath, and root firmly against the floor to lift your left knee off the mat. Activate your back leg strongly, kick back through your heel, lift your thigh bone high. Press firmly against your front heel, draw your belly in and press the floor away to rise up into a revolved high lunge. Stretch your right arm back behind you, reach your left arm forward and keep the twist in your torso toward the right. Inhale deeply. Exhale, slowly unwind your twist, stretch both arms up toward the sky. And then exhale, release your hands onto your hips. Lean the weight of your torso forward in space, ground down firmly into your right leg, and keep leaning forward until you can spring off of your back leg. Bend your right knee and cross your left leg over your right, as if you're sitting cross-legged in a chair. Option to tap your left toes to the floor. Option to keep your left toes lifted, or option to double wrap your left toes around your right calf. Squeeze your legs together wherever you are. Bend your knees deeply. Sink low into your seat. And then inhale, open your arms out wide like wings. Give yourself a hug. Cross your right arm under your left. Walk your hands toward each other on your back. And then soften your shoulders away from your ears. Option to stay here or bring the backs of your hands or your palms to meet. If you take the bind, inhale, reach your elbows high, and exhale, press your forearms away from your face. Squeeze your elbows and your knees together. Sink your seat low. Stabilize your breath as you stabilize your balance. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, slowly unwind everything. Surrender the weight of your upper body forward and down. Relax your left foot beside your right and hang heavy toward the floor. Reach your arms back behind you. Option to hold on to something to reach your arms back, or interlace your fingers. Stretch your arms up and over your head and let their weight fall forward and down toward the floor. Option to bend your knees here. Inhale deeply. Exhale, release your arms from behind you. Bend your knees deeply until you can plant your palms to the floor and step back into a high plank position. Align your shoulders over your wrists, kick back through your heels, squeeze your legs together. Option to lower your knees or keep them lifted as you slowly, slower than you want to, release the full weight of your body down to the floor. Untuck your toes, Press the tops of your feet firmly into the mat. Lift your kneecaps from the floor. Roll your shoulders down your back. Hug your shoulder blades toward each other. Corset in around your waistline and inhale, peel your heart forward and up. Option to stay low or press against your palms and rise a little bit higher into cobra. Soften your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, slowly release back down to the floor. Tuck all 10 toes underneath. Press the mat away and press up and back into downward dog. Option to move through plank or tabletop to get there. Elongate your back body. Stretch your sit bones high. Elongate your breath. Find that smooth, steady rhythm. And on your next inhale, sweep your left leg to the sky. Exhale, step your foot forward and through. Place it next to your left thumb. You always have the option to pick it up and place it there. Relax your back knee down to the floor. And rise either to props or fingertips to create lots of length in your back body. Sink the weight of your pelvis low, but lift up tall through your spine. Stabilize your breath. Inhale here. And as you exhale, shift the weight of your hips back until they align over your right knee. Walk your hands or your props closer in toward your body and flex your left ankle. Spread your toes. Energetically draw your legs toward each other. Option to keep your left knee bent. Inhale, lengthen your spine. An option to stay here or lead with your chest as you fold forward over your left leg. Continue to draw your right knee forward and your left heel back energetically so that your legs feel strong activation. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. And if you folded forward, inhale, slowly rise back up. Exhale, bend your front knee deeply, ground your foot to the floor. Bring your hands back to frame out your front foot. And release your right fingertips or palm to a prop or the floor. Ground down against that hand as you lengthen your spine and spiral and twist your whole torso and your left arm up to the sky. Sink the weight of your hips low, but grow tall through your back body as you spiral around your legs. Now from here, tuck your back toes underneath. Activate your back legs strongly as you lift your back knee up off the floor. Immediately energize. Kick through your heel. Lift your thigh bone high. Hug in around your belly. Root firmly into your front foot. Hug your legs toward each other and press the mat away to lift your whole torso and keep the twist as you reach your left arm behind you and your right arm forward. Stabilize your breath, squeeze your legs toward each other, rotate your whole spine, and then inhale, slowly unwind your twist, reach both arms to the sky. Gently release your hands down to rest onto your hips, and lean the weight of your torso forward in space so that you can lean your weight into your front leg and become light on your back leg. Hug in around your belly, draw your navel in and up. And when you feel stable, gently spring off of your back leg. You can tap down to the floor to help with balance. Bend your standing leg deeply and cross your right leg over your left. Option to tap your right toes down to the floor. Option to keep your toes lifted. Option to double wrap your calves. Squeeze your legs together, bend your knees deeply, and sink your hips low. Inhale, open your arms out wide like wings. And give yourself a hug, this time with your left arm underneath. Walk your hands toward each other. Soften your shoulders. An option to stay here or bring the backs of your palms or the front of your palms to meet. If you take this option, inhale, reach your elbows high. And exhale, press your forearms away from your face so that your upper back rounds. Squeeze your elbows and your knees toward each other. Bend your knees deeply, sink your seat low. The lower you sit, the lower your center of gravity, the easier the balance will become. Stabilize your breath. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, unwind everything. Unwind your arms, your legs, release your right foot beside your left. And fold the weight of your torso forward and down toward the floor. Let everything hang heavy. Again, reach your arms back behind you. An option to stay here, just reaching your arms toward the sky. Option to hold on to something or interlace your fingers. And relax the weight of your arms over and down toward the floor. Reestablish your breath and just notice if it's changed at all. Inhale deeply. Exhale, release your arms back down to dangle toward the floor. Hug in around your belly and bend your knees deeply. Graze your fingertips to the mat and sweep your arms to the sky as you sit low into chair pose. Squeeze your legs energetically toward each other. Sink the weight of your hips back behind you and bend your knees a little bit deeper. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, bend your knees deeply. Inhale, lengthen your back. Exhale, bend your knees a little bit deeper. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, this time release your seat all the way down to the floor. Hug your belly in, squeeze your legs toward each other, reach your arms forward. Lean your weight back slightly, an option to lift one leg at a time or both legs simultaneously into boat pose. Squeeze your legs toward each other, activate your feet, spread your toes, press out through the balls of your feet. Ground down into your sitting bones and grow tall through your back body. Find stability in your breath. Now, if you're lifting one leg at a time, for just a moment, lift both legs simultaneously, and then inhale, reach your legs forward, lower to hover your whole body just above the floor. Straighten your legs, round your back body. Hold for as long as you can. You're welcome to release all the way down to the floor. Maybe you can hold for another 10, 9, 8, 7. Press your lower back to the floor. 6. Squeeze your legs together. 5, round your upper back. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let everything soften and relax to the floor. Allow yourself to just surrender for a moment here. And then bend into both knees. Draw them in towards your chest. Give yourself a big hug. If it feels nice, you can gently sway your hips from side to side. And then keep your knees hugging into your chest. Release your arms. You can either open your arms out in line with your shoulders in a T shape, or if you want to, you can bend your elbows and create like a cactus shape with your arms. Inhale here. And as you exhale, release both knees over towards your left. You're welcome to rest onto any props that you'd like or place props between your knees. Soften the weight of your right shoulder down to the floor, and you might play a little game of seesaw between your legs becoming heavy and your right shoulder becoming heavy, and that's totally fine. Just focus on allowing the weight of both sides of your body to really become heavy. Reestablish your steady breath. And then inhale, slowly draw your legs back to center and release them straight over toward the right. Again, you can place props underneath your knees or between your knees. Soften the weight of your left shoulder toward the floor. And you might play that little game of teeter-tottering back and forth between your legs and your shoulder. Just focus on softening everywhere. next breath, slowly draw your knees back in towards your chest. Give yourself one last final hug. Inhale deeply. Exhale, lift the weight of your head and chest. Draw your forehead towards your knees. Really curl yourself into a tiny little ball. And draw a full breath in here. And as you exhale, let everything go. Stretch your legs long down toward the bottom of your mat. Release your arms down by your sides. Soften your shoulders into the floor. Let your full body weight melt into the mat. And if it feels nice for you, you could close your eyes here. Allow your full body to completely surrender and release. Even release control over your breath. Let everything soften, including your mind, as you allow yourself to fully surrender into this final resting pose, Shavasana. And feel free to stay here for as long as time allows. Thank you for sharing your practice with me.